If there is one place that is closest to my heart, it would be Luxor.
Known to the ancient Egyptians as Wasit, Luxor was the capital of the ancient world, characterized by an abundance of temples, tombs, and traditions. Luxor is the heart of ancient Egypt.
And when you're in Luxor, there is one experience that you cannot miss. Alright, good morning. First thing you gotta do in Luxor is...
The hot air balloon.
Let's go. It's been a dream of ours to experience this because seeing the lands from 2,000 feet up in the air while the sun is rising, it's just a phenomenal feeling that you cannot have anywhere else.
Oh, wow!
And it just filled our hearts with so much joy.
The ancient Egyptians built the temples to represent the universe. The ground represents the earth. The pillars represent the mountains. The pharaoh shows his people his victories, like Ramses III here, shown in front of his enemies, and the gates, which we call pylons, used to be their nowadays Instagram stories. While you walk inside the walls and the halls of the temple, you feel the greatness of the pharaoh, which is the whole point of this holy place.
Now it's time for us to explore this greatness in details.
Habu Temple, the most enormous mortuary temple in whole Egypt, and it's here at your footsteps in Luxor, and my favorite colorful one. So obviously this temple was as a huge project built by Ramses III, and you can see his really clear and deep big cartouche over here. I love the art, and huzzah for the artist! During the reign of Ramses III, Egypt was plagued by many invasions and economic decline. However, he successfully defended Egypt against the mighty sea people that had conquered many empires before him. What we're witnessing here is one of the most disturbing scenes in the ancient world. Here we can see the hostages lined up and being taken to the pharaoh, upon which their hands are severed and counted by the royal scribe, all guarded by my favorite goddess, the goddess of war and bloodlust, Sekhmet. She's represented as a lioness and sometimes as a lioness-headed priestess.
Now you might think that the pharaohs were buried in the temples. These were just to commemorate them and their history and victories. They were actually buried at
The Valley of the Kings.
From all of the tombs in the entire world, nothing comes even close to the Valley of the Kings. We see how the royalty is celebrated during their journey from this life to the next, with every single wall painted from side to side. Now starting off, you can actually get the tickets at the self-checkout. Just make sure to put your hands down here so they don't get stuck in the machine. Now that we have them, we're gonna go get a ticket for the golf cart outside that are electric, and they will take you from the ticketing office all the way deep into the valley. Now, due to the amount of limestone everywhere, it is hot, so make sure you bring a hat and some hydration with you. Now, the main ticket includes 3 different tombs in the valley. However, there are other tombs that you can explore for an extra added-on ticket. Now, I'd love to add that guided tours are not allowed inside the tombs. This is to preserve the peacefulness and serene, majestic feeling inside of all these tombs. You are encouraged to just go in, feel the presence of the pharaohs, and witness its greatness. Now, we've decided to be respectful to these rules, but all we can say is, when you go into these tombs, look up and witness the goddess Nut in all her might and glory. Another thing you'll be able to see are these beautiful sarcophagi that has the symbolism of the Eye of Ra and Horus to indicate where the head of the pharaoh lies. Now, all of the royal mummies have been moved from the Valley of the Kings except one, and that is in the tomb of Tutankhamun. Here, you will be able to see the sarcophagus of the young pharaoh as well as his actual body. That concludes our mini tour of the Valley of the Kings, and it's time to move to our final stop on the West Bank.
Not all the royals were male kings. One of them stood out as a female king, and she called herself King Hatshepsut. It's a new era of feminine power and unprecedented display of dominance of an Egyptian woman. You can feel this while entering the Temple of Hathor upstairs. She's the other good image of Sekhmet. Hathor is the goddess of love, music, and motherhood. You can see her here, represented as a cow, and the pharaoh is suckling from her. It's a representation of the blessing of the mother Hathor. The temple is decorated with the Hathoric special columns, showing her comforting face and calming eyes. Also in the walls, you can see the representation of Queen Hatshepsut as a man in the warrior pose. Neb Ankh Was Jed is the protection amulet for life, stability, and prosperity. At the final step of this temple, statues of Hatshepsut are guarding the innermost sanctuary of this temple. Now we're entering the Holy of the Holies area, which is only allowed for the pharaoh and the high priests. In the ancient Egyptian language, it's called Jisr Jisuru, which literally means the Holy of the Holies.
Now, in the sacred Holy of Holies, we can see the offerings that would later on reanimate in the afterlife. The sky is also filled with beautiful stars representing the protection of the goddess Nut. And now we've reached the final step of our journey in the West. But wait, there's more. This is one experience you should definitely try out. While you might think Egypt is all desert and sand, okay, that's true for the most part. However, there's also the beautiful countryside. It's green and lush and have these beautiful horses. And I know what you're thinking, Egypt equals animal abuse. Unfortunately, yes. However, some of these stables take really good care of the animals, and we're here to really shine a light on them. On this beautiful ride, you will spend 2 to 3 hours inside the heart of Luxor. You'll see the daily life scenes and how people are just living, and also you get to feel like part of them. So that was a beautiful little sneak peek of Luxor.
If you want to join us in real life and see everything we saw in this video, join us
On How to Egypt.